What's going on, everybody out there? Today we're going to be talking about buying a new vehicle versus buying a used vehicle. Alright, so you're looking to buy a new car or a used car. Which one should you get? Should you look at the used market or should you look at getting a new vehicle? Okay, so let's rewind. Let's go back and go over the cars I've had. So of course my first two cars when I was in high school and out of high school were used cars. So my first car was like a 96 Nissan Maxima, and it had over 100,000 miles on it. So I enjoyed that car for like a year, and then, since it had so many miles on it, it needed, the AC was the first thing to go out, down here in Florida, that's the main thing you need, so that was the first thing to go out. And I never really had the money to get that fixed properly. I got it to where it'll blow out air, but it just wasn't ice cold like I needed it to be. And then some other little things started happening to it. So I went and got another vehicle, my second vehicle, which was a 2001 Acura TL. So I got that car, and that car had about 90,000 miles on it. So I'm like, oh man, this is way better. This car only has 90,000 miles on it. My other car had like 110,000 when I got it. So now I feel like I'm in a new car. And I got leather, sunroof and everything. My AC was working. But then of course, my AC was the first thing to go out on that car. And so after that, I had computer issues, I had transmission issues, I had to have my transmission rebuilt. I had all these other little things go wrong with my car. So it was time to upgrade. So now it's 2010, I'm looking for another car, and I'm thinking Camaro. That's when the Camaro had came back out, and the Challenger had came back out in 2009, but I really wanted the Camaro. So I really wanted it, didn't make enough to afford it. I tried. Couldn't do it unless I worked 2 or 3 jobs, which I wasn't doing that because I was in school. So I ended up getting a 2008 Hyundai Tiburon automatic, and it only had 13,000 miles on it. So now this was definitely like having a brand new car for me. I'm like, 13,000 miles on this car? This thing is brand new. And it was clean on the inside. The AC worked. I kept that car for a good 2-3 years, maybe 3 years. I kept it, never had one issue with it except for getting oil changes and buying tires. That was it. I loved that car, and then I upgraded to other cars. Then I started getting into buying new vehicles. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So you're looking to buy a vehicle, and say we're gonna do 2 sides of the spectrum, because some people just need a car because they need a car to get to point A to point B, and they're thinking if they should get, what's the, downfalls or the pros and cons of getting a used beater car versus saving up a little bit more money and getting something more reliable. So I say if you're trying to get that point A and B, those are pretty much the cars like I mentioned earlier. Your cars with 80, 90, 100,000 miles on it, and you're paying like $5,000 for them, $6,000 for them. Those cars will get the job done, but just know you're gonna have to invest money into them when things start breaking down, or you can just drive that car until you save more money and get something a little bit, with less miles on it, something a little bit newer, something a little bit more reliable. So for the other people out there, you just want a new car, because hey, I'm doing good, I make good money, I want to try to get this sports car, let's just say a Corvette or something like that. I want to try to get a Corvette, but I'm torn, should I get a new one or should I get a used one? So the pros of getting a new one is, the dealership or the manufacturer will have sometimes incentives, so they'll have X amount of thousands off of the price of a new vehicle, and another pro is you get the new vehicle, new warranty, you're the first owner, you don't have to worry about what somebody else did to the car or didn't do to the car, before you. So, you're getting a new vehicle, first owner, stuff like that. So those are your positives on that. Now, the negatives on getting a new vehicle is you're going to be the first owner, so that depreciation, as soon as you drive the car off the lot, you know, that depreciation is going to happen to you. You get bored of that car, want something different, and you go to trade it in. Now you're wondering, like, how did my car's value drop so drastically? And I only had it 6 months to a year. I only had it a year, so how did it drop so much? It's the depreciation. So a way around that is, say if you're looking at a 2019 Corvette or whatever, I would suggest looking at the 2017, 2018 with low miles on it, one owner, you know, get all the history on the car, get the Carfax and everything like that. Find you a good clean one, you know, and get that one, because, you know, you'll still have the rest of the warranty left on it. And the first owner that had it already took the depreciation hit. So now when you get in on there, you might pay, you know, at least a couple thousand to 10,000 less than you would have been paying for a new one. And another positive with the new one, like I said, if I didn't mention already, is, you know, you get the full warranty. But if you get a late model used, you know, like a 2017, 18, or even a used 2019, you get the remaining balance of the warranty from when the first person owned it. So if it was me, because I'm in that position right now, I'm looking for another car and I'm trying to see, do I want new or used, but I want to get the best price. So I have to look at the incentives on the new car, see what type of incentives they're offering, and I have to look at the depreciation. How does this car usually depreciate when I'm looking at a new one? And for a used one, I have to look at it, I have to go see it in person, I have to get it inspected, I have to make sure everything's been taken care of, I have to make sure it hasn't been modded and, you know, it doesn't have any scratches and all that stuff like that. But also I should get a better price because the first person, you know, or the previous owners already took the depreciation hit for me, so I can come in and get it at a cheaper price. And that way, if I want to drive this car for 6 months, a year, you know, it shouldn't go down that fast in depreciation, so I won't be so upside down when I go to get rid of it. So guys, that's just my thoughts and takes on buying a new vehicle versus a used vehicle. And that we did two sides of the spectrum. We did decide if a person wants to just, what they should do if they just want to get a car to get from A to B. And we did the other side of the spectrum for someone that just wants another vehicle. They want something cooler, something sportier. They just want to change, you know, get something else. Should they do a new car or a used vehicle? But if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also hit that bell notification to be notified when I drop other videos. And until next time, guys, it's What I Be Thinking, and I'm out.